Good afternoon.
Yeah. So Senator Drilon, we were there at a very lengthy hearing of the Senate chaired by Senator Grace Poe, and of course heard the explanations given by ABS-CBN executives on the supposed violations of ABS-CBN. Now, during that hearing, the NTC was also asked whether or not it could issue a provisional authority to ABS-CBN, and now it seems that they took a different tack on this issue. What do you feel happened in between?
Well, I don't know, but what is clear is that the NTC gravely abused its discretion in ordering in issuing the cease and desist order. Yes, during that hearing, even the Secretary of Justice said the ABS-CBN can continue, a provisional authority can be issued on the basis of precedents precedents in the Supreme Court, wherein it was ruled that so long as the application is pending in Congress, the provisional authority can be issued, and that has been the rule followed in Congress. So it is quite unfortunate, and I do not understand, why this happened. And at this time, when the public needs information about the pandemic, number two, at this time when hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of workers are laid off temporarily or permanently, the livelihood of 11,000 workers in ABS-CBN is prejudiced. And there is absolutely no basis for the cease and desist order. There is no harm. There is enough authority for NTC to issue the provisional authority. In fact, talking about that, Tony, there is a memorandum order number 03/2020. This is a memorandum issued by the NTC on March 18, 2020, and it says all existing permits, certificates, licenses, including radio operator certificates to operate radio communication equipment, networks, and facilities, government or private, in various radio services such as but not limited to fixed and land mobile, amateur, aeronautical, maritime, satellite services, special services, issued by the NTC expiring within March 15, 2020 to April 14, 2020, or during the enhanced community quarantine period, shall continue to be valid for 60 days after the end of the government-imposed quarantine period. At its surface, it would appear that the licenses issued by the NTC is automatically extended by 60 days if this circular will apply.
Yeah.
And yet, ABS-CBN was single-handedly prohibited from continuing to operate. My suggestion is that the ABS-CBN should immediately challenge this abuse of discretion on the part of the NTC. They have the authority, but it can be questioned because it is not in accordance with jurisprudence, and it is in grave abuse of discretion, to say the least.
Could the Senate also hold the NTC accountable for saying one thing during a hearing and then doing something in actuality, contrary to what its earlier statements were?
Well, we have no. These are opinions issued, legal opinions and positions issued by the NTC. I do not know, Tony, what you mean by we can hold them responsible politically, and before the bar of public opinion, we can hold them responsible for it. But beyond that, I do not really know if the Senate can do anything, especially that in this case, the approval of the franchise must originate from the House.
Yeah.
We cannot act on it in the Senate.
That's true.
That's where we stand. So the The remedy is to challenge this order before the Supreme Court, and hopefully the Supreme Court will issue a temporary restraining order or TRO because, Tony, no one is prejudiced by the temporary suspension of the cease and desist order. On the other hand, if this is not restrained, it can cause prejudice to the 11,000 employees of ABS-CBN, to say the least. And number two, the general public is deprived of an avenue of information so critical at this time because of the COVID pandemic.
You know, looking at the future, where other broadcast institutions or companies might have to also undergo a franchise renewal hearing, do you feel that there should be an overhaul of the system under which these franchises are actually issued?
Certainly, we can. That's one of the areas probably that the Senate Committee of Senator Poe can look into. What safeguards can be installed so that this patent abuse of discretion on the part of NTC will not be repeated.
All right. Well, Senator Drilon, we appreciate it very much. You're giving us some of your views on this issue, and would like to wish you well. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us today.